Hello and welcome to One Called Mama. I am your host, Sam, and thank you so much for being here today. So, I think this episode is kind of overdue, and it's one that I've had in the back of my mind that I should do, and I just never got around to it, and so today is the day. I want to share some things with you that I learned early on in my small business journey that really helped me and that I wanted to share with you that could potentially help you if you're creating a small business or if you're wanting to start up maybe a nonprofit or a ministry. These are things that I learned from other people in my world that were shared with me. I mean, maybe except for like a couple of them, but I'm pretty sure almost everything is something that I learned from others. So I definitely have been blessed with people in my world who are just very generous and willing to share, and who are very, very just have a lot of wisdom, have a lot of experience. So I really want to just jump right in. It's the first one that I really want to go over is understanding who in your world could really benefit from the services that you are wanting to offer, or maybe the products that you're creating, or the ministry or the nonprofit that you're wanting to get up off the ground. Who in your world needs to know what you're doing? And when you think about that, then put it in reference to those people who those people who could benefit, who are leaders in your world, in your community, that are well connected, that are just that are leaders, that are running their own business, or maybe running a ministry, or a leader in the church, or a leader in local government, a leader in the school system. Who are the influential people that you know in your world that you really need to connect with and let them know, hey, I'm starting this over here. I'd really love to talk about it with you. I'm very excited about what I'm creating, and I feel like it could really benefit you, and I'd love to explain what this is. And I know that can be a scary conversation to have, and you don't have to have it yet. You just make this list. You just get these people written down, and you start thinking, God, how can I talk to this person? Is this someone that I'm ready to connect with? Who do I not know that I need to know? Who needs to be top of mind for me? And please make me top of mind for the people whom I need to connect with. And you'll start to really see, and you'll start to understand like who you should talk to, and you'll feel confident. You'll feel a confidence in you as you work through, and you start to ask questions of yourself and think of questions you'd want to ask them and want to understand from them. It'll really start to come together. It may not seem like it, but it really does. For me, what I did in my small business that I started with was I did just this. I wrote down like different people in the community, in my world, that I knew that would like my products. And so I made that list, and then I started to think, well, how can I contact them? What would be a very logical way to reach out to them? Because maybe I hadn't reached out to them in a long time, or maybe I hadn't connected with them in a long time. And I always wanted to come at it from a standpoint of, how can I be of service to them? Am I really offering them value? And how can I offer them value? One thing that I did very early on was I had a day where I had, arranged a babysitter, and I took some flyers of my business that I put together with my business card and some samples, and I went and walked. We have a old downtown area with lots of antique stores, lots of boutiques. I'm very blessed to live in a city like that. We have lots of boutiques, lots of antique stores, lots of shops that I could go to. And so I just went to the shops that I thought matched my personality and matched the products that I was selling. And I went in, I introduced myself. I asked if the owner was there. If not, I spoke to the person who was there. I showed them the samples. I let them try the samples if they were interested. If not, I just left them for the owner. And I explained why I was there and that I wanted to do a pop-up with them, that I wanted to talk about my business and see if it was a good fit for their business. And that's what I did. And so I would leave my information and then I would just go door to door and I would do that. I did that for a couple of hours, I think. And I think I hit 20 shops that first day. And it actually led to my first public event, which was really cool, where I was set up as a vendor. Anyway, I say that because there's power in that. When you introduce yourself personally, face to face, that means a lot to people still these days. I know, social media is the place to be, right? But there's a lot to be said for people who take the time to look professional, to be professional, and to meet you and to take the time to really meet you face to face. And then what I did after that was I followed up with everyone and I called them and continued to try and stay in connection with them. And that goes a long way too, because it's one thing to, show up initially. It's another to consistently follow up with people and to stay connected with them and to really build a rapport in a business with them. The second thing I would like to suggest is become your own center of influence to the people in your world. So you have people, more than likely, you have people in your life, in your world, on social media or your family, some sort of, most of the time it's social media. But you have people who love you, who respect you, who trust you, and start talking to them about what you're passionate about what you're doing, about what you're excited about, and tell them, your plans, tell them what you are working on and working towards. I know it's really hard to share that, and maybe you're not at a stage yet where you are ready, and that's okay. But you'll get to a point where you are ready to start putting the products out there or the services out there, or you're ready to start sharing your ministry idea with with people who you think you might want to partner with. And it's good to do that. It's good for people to know what you're doing because, one, you can share your excitement. And when you share your excitement, it gets other people excited. And even if maybe they aren't bought into what you're doing yet, if they already know and love and trust you, they will be bought into you and they will be excited to see you excel and to do well, and they will watch. They will definitely watch you. I think I kind of had that experience of my own, and it was very rewarding when I would have people who were maybe kind of hesitant about what I was doing tell me that they just were really impressed with the work that I was putting in. And that felt really good because I was consistent and I worked really, really hard. So I would just say, how can you share and be loud about what you're doing? How can you express it and vocalize it and start talking about it and building that momentum, building that excitement so that when you do launch whatever it is, people are already on board and they're like, oh yes, it's finally here. Let's do this. Like, I'm excited. And that's a really great, like way to kind of get things, go ahead and have momentum going whenever you are actually doing the thing that you're working to do. Another thing that's probably not like mind-blowing is get involved in social media groups that exist, like already exist, that focuses on people who are doing the same thing or similar things that you're doing. So, if you're wanting to write a book, I'm sure there is a group on Facebook that, Facebook is the one I go to, and that's probably the only one. It's the only one I can think of that has like the group thing. But there's probably a group on Facebook that is for people who are writing books, and it's probably a private group. You have to join, and then once you're in, you see people making comments about the project they're working on, or how did they get through this, or having questions answered, and it's a great way to connect with like-minded people and they can help you on your journey to writing your book. So search for groups. They can maybe be local, maybe not, but search for groups who are doing the same thing or similar thing you're doing. And that's going to give you a community. It's going to give you a place to express things that maybe no one else would understand. And it's going to give you that space where people can really give you positive feedback, or the critical, not critical, but the critiques that you're needing as you work through what you're working through. And on that note, I think of Instagram when I say this, but follow the people who are already doing what you're doing at a high level and who are maybe already reaching the status of influencer, and start commenting and liking the things that they're doing and putting out there. And if there ever comes a time where you're wanting to collaborate with someone who's already doing what you're wanting to do, or maybe, get some feedback or talk to them and get some advice, they might already be likely to respond to you or help you or join your podcast or collaborate on your book, or whatever it is, you name that thing, because you've already shown them support and you've already been, interacting with them and building a rapport with them. So the next thing I like to share is very simple, and it's don't make it hard. There are professionals out there in every single field that you can imagine who have already worked out the kinks, figured out what does and doesn't work, and they have cleared a path for you, and all you have to do is walk it. So when you find someone that you really feel like matches your personality, or the kind of thing that you're doing, learn how they are making it work, watch them, study them. If they've got a book that they've written, read it, and just modify however you have to what you're doing. If it's not exactly the same, then do what they do, because success leaves clues, and people who are successful, there is a pattern and a rhythm to what they're doing. And if you figure that out and you see it, then that is the thing to follow. On that note, consistency is so crucial. I know that we hear the word consistency a lot. Be consistent, do this consistently. And it might be easy to tune that out, but I really want to encourage you not to do that, because consistency really is so important. I would not have people listening to my show if I did not consistently post every single Monday. Now, my time is not always the same. I do my best to do it in the morning. But if I started posting like randomly, like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or maybe a Monday or maybe a Sunday, I think I would probably lose some people, because y'all would just assume that I'm not posting at all and then maybe not check in. So I do have a lot to learn. I'm not consistent on social media. That hurts me, and I know it does. I'm not consistent with, like I just said, like the time that I post. And these are things I need to work towards, and I know that. But consistency is just so crucial in how you show up for yourself, and how you show up with your business, with on the back end of things. If you don't plan, if you don't have something figured out, like what you're going to do, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be a really hard uphill battle. So knowing how you're gonna show up each day, when you're gonna do this and when you're gonna do that, and planning that out is so important, and it's gonna be crucial to you being successful in whatever it is that you're planning on doing. The next thing is again nothing too profound. But when we do the basic things that we know are important at a very high level, wonderful things happen. Pretty much, say for my small business, for example, the most important things were posting on social media on my private group, making phone calls and checking in with leads, trying to make sales, scheduling, like booking events and things like that. Let me see, following up with past clients. Those things were very basic, right? Learning scripts, learning the things that, memorizing certain scripts so that when I talk about things, it just comes out easily and I'm not like having to overthink it. Those types of things are very simple and very basic, and a lot of them kind of go across the board in lots of different areas, lots of different businesses, lots of different types of work. And they're kind of boring, to be honest. They're not interesting. But if you do those things at a high level, you will see your business explode, because those are like the most important aspects of your business, are the simple, basic things. And if you master those, if you do those at a high level, you're going to find a lot of success. And I can't identify those for you. I don't know what those are. Only you would know. But as you go along and you figure out what those basic things are in your business, never forget how important and crucial those are. And one of the last things I wanted to talk about is, I think everyone does this in some degree. And again, I don't know if you're wanting to start a ministry. I don't know if it's a nonprofit, if it's a small business, if you're wanting to write a book or a podcast or whatever, write music. Just know that you're not bothering anyone when you talk to them about what you love and about what you're excited about and the things that you're wanting to sell or create or whatever it is. You're not a bother. You are coming from a place of value, and you're wanting to share what you're excited and passionate about, and that's not a bother. People more than likely will be very interested to know what you are doing, especially if they already know you. Now, okay, a complete stranger may not necessarily care about what you care about, right? But if you're coming from a place of value and you're speaking to them, sharing your product, your ministry with them, they're not going to be offended by that. Most of the time, most people are going to at least give you a little bit of time a day and listen to what you have to say. And if they say, no, thanks, I'm not interested, then it's fine. That wasn't something that they needed. It wasn't a service or a product that they needed, and that's okay. Like, don't be afraid of the no. That's all right. Like, no's are a part of everything in life, and that just means you weren't what they needed, and that's okay too. If you're not what is the phrase? If you're not tied to whatever the answer is, then you're totally free to just talk to someone and have a conversation and then go your separate ways, and it's not a big deal. And one of the last things, I said that the last time, but this really is, it's so easy to talk ourselves out of doing the thing that we feel like we really want to do or that we feel called to do. It's easy to say, well, that person over there, they're already painting paintings like that I kind of paint the same way and they're already doing it. Or they already started a ministry for orphans or for moms who are struggling to make ends meet. There's already a thing. Someone's already done it. Well, yes, someone has probably already done what you're thinking about doing in some form or fashion. There's nothing new under the sun, right? The thing is, you are bringing to the table a unique set of gifts, talents, skills, life experiences, wisdom, fears, struggles, testimonies that no one else can bring. And a friend of mine just shared this with me, and hopefully she won't care that I'm sharing this with y'all and stealing it. But she told me that she was also struggling with this, and she had I think it was her teacher or instructor say, there are people out there who are good through levels 1 through 7. They have levels 1 through 7 figured out, but you have level 8, and that's what they need from you. So, my friend, whatever it is that you are working towards, passionate about, feeling called to do, struggling with doing it because maybe the what ifs, the fears of starting something new, the possibility of rejection or failure, there is someone out there who needs the level that you are on, that only you can share and bring. So I really hope that whatever it is that's on your heart, that you won't keep it there, that you'll share it with the world, that you'll share it, and that you will take a deep breath and take that bold step of faith forward and trust that God has a plan and that He is wanting to use this and do this through you if you'll give Him your yes. It's hard, it's scary, but really neat things happen on the other side of hard and scary, and I hope that you're willing to find out what those things are. That is it for today's episode, you guys. I am very excited for some things I have happening in the background that I haven't shared yet. One thing related to the show, and one kind of not really, but I am excited. I'm going to share it with you guys anyway. Maybe not yet, but soon. The first thing, I can't say a whole lot yet. I don't want to yet because nothing's quite, it's still very much in the early stages, but I did reach out to a local outreach and did what I just suggested to y'all. I put together a flyer about the show, about the podcast, and about myself. And I presented, I emailed it to someone at a local outreach. I was kind of directed here and there to a couple of different people and finally reached the right person, and they were all very kind. Had a meeting and it went really, really well. So now the ball is in my court to do some formulating, to do some figuring out on my end, and to present some things to this outreach, to this local outreach. So that is something y'all can be in prayer for. I am very excited to get some things together on my end. Things have been really busy with the kids' birthdays and my husband working 2 jobs. So I'm hoping that soon, very soon, I will have more flexibility and be able to work on those things. I've also just kind of been processing, and sometimes processing for me looks like letting things sit and just waiting until I feel a little more ready to go at it. And so I've needed time to just really think about it, because once I kind of get things together on my end, then it is going to be a time commitment. It is going to be something that I am committed to doing. And so I don't take that lightly. And so yeah, I've just been wanting to take my time with it and really get it figured out on my end before I like jump in. So yeah, and I've let's be honest, I've been a little lazy lately. I've been tired and I've been a little lazy. So there's that. So I'll be honest. I told you guys I'd be transparent and honest, and there you go. There's the honesty. So yeah, y'all can be praying about that. I'm excited to see where God takes that, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep plugging at it one day at a time. So I hope you guys do as well. If there's anything I can be in prayer for y'all, please feel free to email me at OneCalledMama@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions for episodes on the show, please feel free to leave a comment below, or you can also email me. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful, blessed week, and I will be seeing you again very soon.